Hello, on behalf of the Putnam County Playhouse, my name is Jack Randall Earls. I'm the man in the chair, and today we are getting to know board member Meghan Armitage. Hello, Meghan.
Hello, Jack.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely.
Now, you've done a lot of things at Putnam County Playhouse over the years, and you've been associated with the Playhouse for many years in many productions. What was your first show here at the Putnam County Playhouse, and how did you get involved in that?
My first show was The King and I in 2000, and how that happened was fate. I don't know. I mean, it was luck. I was doing a piano recital at the church next door, and my dad knew I was interested in possibly auditioning and things.
That's President Michael McLean
Yes.
at the Putnam County Playhouse.
And he came over to see where auditions were in the process, and Sherry Hedge, I think, was the one outside and told him it was still going, and they said yes, latecomers could still come. Comes back over and says, hey, you just finished your recital, go audition for a musical. And I was very nervous, and my brother was the one who said, isn't Vicki Parker directing this? And I didn't know her. I was 2000, I was in middle school, and he was in high school, and he said, look, if you have the chance to have her as a director, you really should. So I came over, very nervous, and it was Parker and Jeff Price and Bob Hedge, who were both my teachers at the time. And so
No pressure.
it actually was calming. It was very calming because I recognized them, and we were waiting to sing, and I remember she said, you know, hang on just a minute, sweetie, and I'll be right with you. And I think it was, if I have this right, Price wrote my name tag, and he forgot the H in my first name. And so Bob Hedge started making fun of him for that, and they were arguing, and Parker had to tell them to be quiet and let the poor girl sing. I was laughing so hard, I wasn't nervous anymore. But that was my first show. It was just walk across the grass, go audition, and
And you're in The King and I.
Yeah.
And the rest is history.
Yeah.
Did you study theater arts on the college level?
I did. I went to Huntington University, and I graduated in 2009 with a degree in theater education.
Oh, theater education. So did you study in a particular acting technique or?
Multiple, they did focus on multiple different styles there, but since I was doing a theater ed degree, I was in lots of different areas. So they definitely did focus on acting. They also focused on beginning tech, just introduced, because in their mind, you are possibly going to be teaching this and directing your own shows. You need to be introduced to a lot, or at least know enough to know what you can do, what you can't do, and dictate, you know, hey, or delegate, not dictate, maybe dictate. Sometimes directors do.
Yeah, we know all about that.
Yeah, anyway.
Yes.
So that I got to do that, as well as the education courses. So I was briefly introduced to things, but didn't get to do full on just focus on this level kind of thing.
So talking to a person who might be watching today, who may be watching today, who's in high school, would you encourage them, if they're interested in theater, to look at some of the collegiate programs rather than just go into, try to get into theater?
I would, mainly because anyone, I would think, that is in theater would tell you that you're always learning. It's always changing. You're always going to come up with different things. It doesn't matter how many classes I took, I'm still going to have different experiences, you know, in different theaters with different directors and whatnot. So why wouldn't you want to learn multiple things first?
Yes.
We had a professor that told us once, you know, two things. He told us, one, if you can think of anything else you'd prefer to do, don't do this program, because you're going to find ways to get out of it and things like that. It's just, if you can find yourself doing anything else, then don't do it. But at the same time, they would encourage us on how theater degrees, even if you're not an actor or actress on Broadway, if you're not, you know, doing it professionally, your theater degree can be used in multiple ways. You know, it's like a communications degree or things. People hire you for the same things you'd learn in college theater programs or your experiences here, that kind of thing. And so I think there is a lot of value to extra study, especially if you love it. Why wouldn't you want to know more?
Why wouldn't you want to know more?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to know the most?
Exactly. Why wouldn't you want to do everything you can get your hands on?
Now, you do plays and you also do musicals. How do you prepare for an audition?
I
perhaps let's say, how would you prepare for an audition here at the Putnam County Playhouse?
I pray a lot. I get very nervous. So much prayer. And because I get very nervous, I try to be as prepared as possible. First thing for me is I want to be very familiar with the script, mainly because I stutter when I read aloud. It is something I've had all my life. And if I have it memorized or I'm familiar with it, it's a lot easier not to. And so cold reads at auditions frighten me because I don't want to be standing up there stuttering. I want to be in character so you can potentially get cast. So I will read the script over and over and try to be as familiar with it as possible. So as far as anything I might be asked to read is not unfamiliar. If it's a musical, I will have multiple music selections picked out and rehearsed, and I probably decide that the night before, the day of. But how I decide that is based on what am I most comfortable with. Because if I'm not going to be comfortable when I'm practicing at home or in my car, I'm not going to be comfortable here in front of a director.
Smart.
Nerves are going to get me. So just being prepared with the script, being prepared with the song, and if there is a dance audition, lots of stretching. I do recall that the first time I had a dance audition that included tap dancing, I was terrified because I'd never tap danced before. But someone took me outside and taught me my first time step, and that was you.
Yes, I remember that.
Over
And
there.
I've seen you do it since then.
Yep.
Very good.
Yep, but you taught me that before because you knew I was terrified.
Well, and also, if you find out the director is not a particular fan of the show Wicked, you wouldn't want to audition with the song Popular, would you? No.
But you don't always know that, and so it's
Just happens.
fine.
Yes.
But
What's your favorite show that you've done here at Putnam County Playhouse?
you know, that's that's hard because there's different moments in different shows, or there's a different character I played that I love. But
I understand that.
I would say one of my favorite shows for sure, if not the favorite, was Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. And the thing that answer surprises me, even though it's my answer, because I wasn't planning on being involved with the show. It's not a dislike of it. It just was like, okay, I don't think I'm going to do this one. And I kept hearing some more and more people I knew were possibly auditioning or hoping to get on it, and it's a larger cast. I thought, you know what, this just sounds fun to be with the people and things like that, and that's what made it amazing. That cast and the crew were so fun. I don't think I can think of any show where I have laughed so consistently through rehearsals. Sometimes never sure what was going to happen even on stage during the shows, but it was just fun.
Yes.
We came out here and had fun every rehearsal, every show, and that was definitely in the tops for me.
Okay. And that was directed by Shelley McFadden.
Yes.
Yes, and who did the choreography for that?
Deb Grammel.
Deb Grammel.
Yes.
It was a lovely show.
It was fun.
It was a lovely show.
It was very fun, and I auditioned just to be involved, and
You got way involved.
I got way involved, which
Yes.
was still fun. But I think I've enjoyed even some of the friendships made in that show that we still, talk on Facebook and things, and it's really nice. I think second to that would be Drowsy for the same reason.
Oh.
I felt just as a cast and crew, it was that show. I would say is if there's something called a perfect show, I felt like that one was.
Also
And
directed by
every-
Shelley McFadden.
It's true. We're giving Shelley a lot of credit.
Yes. Well, I think that you're playing Janet in The Drowsy Chaperone. That's also a lovely memory of mine. That was such, you did that so well from beginning to end. And, you're a triple threat gal. You sing, you dance, and you do comedy and drama. And so it's always a joy to see you work. And whenever we would do The Bride's Lament, and you would
God.
sing about the monkey, I would always get to sit back and watch the audience and think, you don't know what's coming.
No.
But it was lovely. And I have to say that in 2018, when you were in Annie, when you played, help me,
Lily.
Lily St. Regis.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Again, a triple threat gal. I mean, Meghan, it was a very big hit, directed by Shelley McFadden.
Annie?
No, Caroline Good.
Caroline. Shelley was Miss
Caroline, I'm
Hannigan.
so sorry. Okay.
Shelley was Miss Hannigan.
Yes, she was Miss Hannigan. Shelley was Miss Hannigan. A lovely performance. She didn't have time to direct that.
No.
Do you have any amusing or stories about something that maybe happened backstage or on stage that you can share with us?
Right, that is the trick.
That's the key.
That is the one.
The trick. Yes.
Well, there was the dressing room wars, include the musical. It started out very innocently. It was a smaller cast, and the women decided. I mean, it was just
Actresses.
We wanted to dress up our room. We had this nice sofa in there, and because it was a smaller cast, there were only what, three of us in there, plus then some crew, but four. We had the couch. Some people brought in some baked goods. I think it was Jody that brought in.
Jody Stockton.
Yeah, she brought in her iPod and an iStation or something that, speakers so we could listen. She had Nora Jones playing in there and other things. It's very relaxing. So we called it the lounge. It was ours. Well, the boys got jealous or something. I don't know.
Actors.
I know. And they started to compete. But their version of competing was just going up to the props loft and grabbing whatever they could find and throwing it in their room just to have more stuff. And so it was going back and forth, and every night you didn't know what you were going to find. There was a show backstage itself. In the end, there was caution tape over the door and a prop.
To the ladies' room?
To the ladies'
lounge.
Yes.
The ladies'
The lounge,
lounge.
yes, had I forget what the guys was called, but they had a name for theirs.
I think it was
too.
the lodge.
Something like that. Yeah, again, taking from ours because we called ours the lounge. Just saying. But there was caution tape over the girls' dressing room door, and then there was a prop bomb that I believe was from Don't Drink the Water that was then placed on a pedestal right there. Just there. But in the end, I believe we had pictures and took it to a vote. The airplane from Drowsy's coming
Yes,
back.
there's something. Yes, something's happening, but that's all right.
Anyway, the girls won. That's really all that's important, is the girls won.
The girls won. Congratulations, ladies.
Yes, we won.
Yes. Meghan, when you get to theater heaven, what do you hope the director says?
You made the list. You made the cut. You can come in. That would be nice.
Very good. Yes, that would be very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Meghan. I've enjoyed this very much. And I want you to say hello to Craig and to Jude and to Abigail for me, okay? Okay. Thank you for joining us today. On behalf of the Putnam County Playhouse, this is Jack Randall Earls, the man in the chair, and we hope to see you again very soon.